Couple things. One, because we're not here next week, because we're here only every fourth Friday, Monday of the month. I don't know what day it is. I'm going to say, happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
And, well, we have we're so glad the heat is broken because we're hot enough here in the studio. Roll those opening credits. Woo! This program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great, but it's still pretty great. Reading. Eat pretzels nonstop and pot pie no top. For dessert, do we drop? Perks. Did they really say that? They did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.
Well, here we are on That's What She Said, another hour to waste with us. We just remind you that you can call us at 610-378-0426, or we do have the Twitter ready, as always, at She Tweets to Me. So we hope to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you, and also, well, never mind. We'll get on to that later. Who do we have? Oh, you don't have any.
I have no yarn today. Oh. I know.
I don't think we've ever done a show where you haven't had yarn.
That's right, not today.
What's up with
Well,
this?
I just completed 2 weeks of band camp, which has officially wrecked my hands.
Oh,
there will be no knitting or crocheting today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, these hands, I've put myself through enough. I'm going to lay off the crocheting for a minute.
You're a brand new Sheila.
Yes, on a very affected one. Band camp has officially nailed me to the floor.
Oh my goodness. And next to her we have, of course,
Martha.
And
Nicole.
You two have a color theme, and we don't.
I was just gonna say, we're just kind of doing our thing, but you guys look great.
Transitioning into fall, I think.
To me, it looks springy. That's that beautiful.
It was.
Spring
You know,
color.
I felt that crisp. It wasn't crispness in the air, but it was certainly not deadening heat.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable to be outside today.
It was
gorgeous.
Outside going, I like this. I could do more of this.
Yeah, every time the breeze, it's like, don't speak to me. I'm having an experience. Like, I enjoy the breeze.
And it's a bizarre night of change because Martha usually provides the treats, and tonight
we're just switching things up today.
What have you done tonight to us, Nicole?
Well, I've brought some yummy little cookies, some Oreo thins, some Pepperidge Farm strawberry thingies. I don't know. David pointed them out. He's like, "Those look good, Mom." Said, "Throw them in the cart." Right. David picked out most of this, and then I got some pretzel thins and some cheese. And
what are we drinking?
Various things. I went and did a choose your own 6-pack, which is like my version of Kid in a Candy Store.
Awesome, right?
Like, what do I think? So we've got some twisted tea, we've got some hard cider, and what Sheila and I are really digging tonight is this spiked seltzer.
This is so good.
It is really good. Like it's light. Yeah. There's not much to it,
but it literally tastes like seltzer with oranges in it. It does not. You don't taste the alcohol, but it's there.
Now I'm sad I didn't have a glass of that.
Well, you can try some of ours, Miss Jane. It's delicious.
Well, I don't.
And there's another bottle.
Yeah, we've got. There's more of that.
I don't want to mix my straw in your stuff.
Cross contamination.
Well, speaking of drinking, Ryan Lochte.
Oh boy! What a cheese ball! What is wrong with him?
Too much time has been spent on him.
Well, that's true.
Agreed.
There were so many heroes and so many amazing things that the kids did, and he's 32. I think that's the other thing.
He should know better.
He and those other boys were college kids. You know, I mean, I'm not giving him a pass for what they did, but I don't want to
know better.
Yeah,
they were just dum-dums, and you know.
But how dumb do you have to be to think you could get away with what they did?
No, that's American privilege thing.
I was going to say, he's definitely seemed to have an attitude of entitlement even during the Olympics.
He does, and compare that to Gabby's treatment at the at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Somebody want to take that?
I saw this great side-by-side shot, and it was like, you know, Gabby doesn't smile for this thing, everyone gets on her case. And then it shows that meme of Michael Phelps sitting there like this, and they're like, and everyone praises Michael Phelps for his crazy face. And it's just that double standard. And I saw a lot of that double standard gender-wise through the Olympics. And it was really kind of a little disheartening to see that still exists to a high degree.
Why do we women have to be put on a pedestal? Why can't we just be human?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Well, and why can't we be praised for our own things? There was another great one I saw. There was this Olympian, I forget what sport she's in, but they named her as, you know, she's married to a football player. She's like, so this football player's wife got a bronze medal. And the meme was, you spelled, and then it gave her name, 3-time Olympian, 3-time bronze medalist, wrong. And I really like that because it's like, yeah, she should be named as herself,
not as his wife.
As his wife. I'm like,
she's had her own
Well, I
accomplishments.
think even just as offensive was that, and I forget which publication put Gabby Douglas's picture with Simone, with the other
Simone
gymnast,
Biles.
Simone Biles, and confused them. I mean,
Like,
I'm not even going to
really?
go anywhere
I
with
didn't
that, but
see
that,
that,
yeah.
but
And how
That's
difficult
terrible.
is that to fact
Yeah,
check?
well-
I mean,
how hard is that to get right?
I don't
indeed.
know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
shameful.
So yeah, it's
disgusting.
it's
Really
junk like that.
shameful.
Well, I
and
can't
then-
remember I can't remember where the switch was. If it was, I think it was Gabby's picture, and they gave her Simone's name. So it was like,
Oh my goodness.
really, that just brings back all those stereotype awful things
But
we've
didn't
heard.
those
Yeah.
didn't we women do wonderfully at the
We did.
Olympics this year?
Mopping the floor with those
Oh my
boys, aren't
goodness,
we?
it was
Mopping
wonderful.
the floor.
Sheila Decky, man, new hero. She's the bomb dig, man. And the best part is her and another girl are like, we're good. They're going back. They have full rides. They have scholarships. They're swimming for their school's team. So they can't accept endorsements, but they have this. I don't know if it was Katie, but one of the girls was like, I'm so excited I get to be the Olympics, and then I get to go home and finish my college experience and have my dream career. And I was like, girl,
Get it.
yeah, I was like, yeah, girl.
That's what's up.
Look, I'm not a sportsy person. I mean, I'm not a sportsy person, but the Olympics jazz me. So these past few weeks, I've been having a great time, and I love to watch the Today Show to see what ridiculous things they're going to do. Like the day there was this guy, he was the first Olympian from his country, I guess, and he was in, I forget what he was competing in, but
Curling.
no, that's
Because you know that's my favorite.
It was judo or taekwondo or something, and he was the flag bearer for his country, and he
was all-
walked
He
in.
was all oiled from
Yeah.
Tonga.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's it. So
Who
on the
was
Today
that?
Show, he walks in and he's sitting there and he's very serious and he's like, I'm representing my country, blah blah blah. And the two Hoda and this other girl come up and they just start oiling him down. I'm like,
Oh,
like a human being.
I'd be toweling him over like, wipe the crap out of a good mess.
He led his.
Get
it was
outta
from-
here with
I think
that
he's from
slop.
Tonga.
Tonga,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He led
Yep,
the
that was
delegation.
him, son.
Oh wow, it was
It was
beautiful.
incredible, awesome story. See,
Yeah.
those are the stories we need to talk about.
I like the
They
one
are.
where the Mongolian coaches from, I don't know if it was a wrestling or another martial arts. They thought their whoever was doing it was ripped off and should have won, and so their protest was they started taking their clothes off.
What?
Not a bad way to
Because
protest.
that makes a statement.
It does.
Works for
That
me.
gets your point
Make
across.
it
Let's
good.
get
Why not?
Mongolia, that's the way you protest. You just take your clothes off.
Well,
I'm moving
that's
to
one
Monday.
way to get your way, I guess.
Actually, I think
Let's
I'm
see
good.
if it works. Try that when I get home.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God, I
Send me
can't.
postcards.
I think we have our first tweet. I think Amber's lonely in the control room. She says hello.
Hi.
Cheers to Amber in the control room. We wish you could. What can't you control things from in here?
Yeah, join our party.
Isn't everything on remote control now?
Indeed. Don't you-
On the
Isn't there an
iPad.
app for that?
Where's our tablets?
All right. Enough about. We've completely buried Mr. Lochte.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go to the other disease, Zika.
That's scary.
It is.
That's here.
It's here now.
It's here, and it's really scary. And there have been outbreaks in Miami now. And the fact of the matter is, people are like, oh, it's only down there, it's fine. Well, if you've traveled to that area, if someone that you are sexually active with has traveled to that area, it can be transferred to you. Or if someone you don't even know has traveled to that area and comes back and a mosquito bites them and then bites you, they've now transferred it. And as someone who is hoping to be pregnant in the next couple months, I am scared poopyless on that
Yeah,
one.
you
Like,
can't
that's
get
a
bit.
frightening thing. So I've been wearing my bug spray.
But I think
So have
it's
I.
kind
I've
of
been
been,
spraying
it's
the
been
heck
sort
out
of
of
a
myself.
shame. You have to feel bad for the West Nile virus bug that was kind of acclaimed a couple years ago. Because I saw a little
now
thing
he's
that
dead weight.
right, because nobody cares.
See
But
you,
remember
West
the
Nile.
headlines last year, West Nile virus was big. There's a little tiny article in the local rag that said West Nile virus was discovered in 2 mosquitoes, I think in Robizonia or somewhere. It's like, who cares?
Wasn't that in birds too?
Oh, right, and who
Because
cares?
I think I remember going
Right.
outside of work one day. There was a dead bird. And I
Yeah.
flipped
Right.
my wig. I was like, oh,
right, you collected birds and told them, yeah,
a dead bird.
yeah.
I went berserk.
Apparently,
I don't like
apparently,
diseases.
but apparently it's not a big deal anymore. It's Zika.
Now
we
that
don't.
the
Now we
Zika
don't care
thing's
about the
here.
dead birds.
I don't see those anymore. That was awful.
Well,
They
That
had
was
their 15
terrible.
minutes of fame and it's out of here.
Minty,
There's something worse.
goodbye, West Nile.
Right.
Welcome, Zika.
We have a better mosquito now.
That we and a stronger one.
Your last
Scary.
year's
Frightening,
mosquito.
frightening.
Wear your spray.
Wear your spray. And this mosquito apparently bites low, so wear.
Well, the
Ankle
thing
spray.
that I was worried, they did a thing on television yesterday about some people, a pregnant woman and her husband who live in Miami or wherever, and that they're spraying a lot. And I kept wondering, I wonder what's in those sprays that might also
Well, this is the
affect
thing.
you.
It tastes terrible.
Have you
Yeah,
ever seen?
yeah.
Yes, I mean those trucks go by and you're
Right,
like walking down
right.
the street and there's these billows of smoke and
Do you breathe or not?
indeed.
But
I
these-
always
they're
have
just-
my
they're-
face
can't be
in
good,
my
yeah.
shirt.
But they're saturating themselves with something before they go out. I mean, this is something they're spraying, and I kept.
Yeah, that's not what I.
I wouldn't think they would warn the public, like stay off the street
Yeah,
or
yeah.
go that way or something.
Maybe put on a siren.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except then we'd
Doesn't
all
seem safe.
dive for our bomb shelters.
Mosquitoes
I'm
would
down.
be scared of that.
And in other disaster news,
So
it's the disaster show.
Oh, it's right.
Here, that's what she said.
We brought you rainbows and unicorns. That's us.
I promise things will get lighter later, maybe.
We'll see.
Cheers.
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 Here we go.
Chin chin.
But you know, it's a major story. The flooding in L.A. Louisiana.
Louisiana. The other LA.
Wow.
Is
It's
just
terrible.
terrible. It's
Things are looking really dire.
But it has had very low media coverage, and I think part of it is Lochte and all this other stuff. But I think the other reason is because there aren't as many sad stories. I mean, there's definitely sad stories, but there's a lot of people helping people this time out. And they're like, that's not news.
Right.
That's
Boring.
happy stuff. We need death and destruction.
Everybody
Where's
wants
that
dirt.
happening?
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
wants the happy
yeah.
stuff.
See, I
like
hadn't
this
thought
is
about
such
that,
a
but that's a
shame.
very valid point.
Yeah, but like this
That's why.
Cajun Navy has come up again, where they just start coming down with their boats and they're going to find people and help them. And then, everyone's getting on Obama's case because he hasn't been down there yet, and they're like, oh, but Trump went. But here's the thing: when a
has
public
nothing to do.
official, when somebody that well known goes down there, you have to switch your resources to their protection. So Trump being there was actually a negative thing, and Obama waiting was a good thing. In fact, the governor, I think, even said, I don't want anyone down
Yeah,
here.
well, I heard some of the residents that have been flooded out and being interviewed the other morning, and they said, we have too much outside help. There are too many people coming in from the outside that they are actually
Creating chaos.
They are actually inhibiting the people who from here who know how to rescue and how to help us. They can't get through because FEMA has come in and they just go home. It's just really a mess.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, what do you do with a truckload of Play-Doh? Which is what Mr. Trump unloaded for 49 seconds.
Play-Doh?
It was Play-Doh.
Play-Doh? Are you serious?
If you look at the picture, he's got a box. The truck is full of Play-Doh.
He's going to put it in
Oh,
a dike.
Donald.
Surprise
He thinks
face
it's
right
a
now.
dike that had a
Exactly.
hole.
He'll
He's gonna
build that
flood the
wall.
hole.
He'll build the wall
Oh,
in
indeed.
Louisiana to keep out the evil water.
You know what? You know what the Olympic event that he was most interested in? He wanted to know how high the Mexican pole vaulters could jump.
Oh my god. Are you serious? No. That man makes me laugh. I'm sorry. I think he's hysterical. When he was on Twitter with his taco salad and said, "I love Hispanic," I think he's a clown. He's funny as heck to me.
He's a clown, but he's like the clown from It.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's dangerous,
an-
but he's so stupid. Like, how can you not laugh?
Oh my goodness gracious. Where are we? Should we move on?
Can we? Yeah.
Mr. Producer, should we move on? All right then. Let's roll that first video.
It's Jane's Etiquette Corner.
After all the trash we just talked about, let's have some etiquette class. Let's go.
Well,
Let's go back to cotillion school for a minute.
Well, I looked through this book, and I didn't find what I was looking for. So I had my psychic, Pearlie Gates, that's really her name. I made her show me her birth certificate, and it said there, Pearlie Gates. I had her ask my dear friend Emily Posty as we call her, if I could add an addendum, a codicil, which, as I found out today, is not a shelf for your codpiece. But she, Emily gave me her blessing to explain a little bit of something. So I thought I would do this for you. I'm sorry, I'm going on script, which I don't usually do. But the goal of the etiquette is to help us learn to be better human beings. I've previously said, oh, I can't do this, I'll just wing it. I previously said that we really shouldn't need any guidance other than our own brains and hearts. Sadly, it seems that we do. Tonight, I would urge us that we all take a moment and reflect. Something has taken a brutal beating over the last few years, and certainly in the last few months seems to be barely drawing metaphorical breath. Therefore, tonight, I ask you to consider the welfare of facts. Indeed, with increasing fervor, we have attacked facts so brutally, so beaten them really into a weeping mass, that it seems, were they sentient beings, they would rise up and smite us all with their frustration and rage. Luckily, and alas, they are not. So tonight I speak for those maligned voices, those maligned voiceless facts. I ask you all to give facts their due, recognize the difference between opinion, ice cream is from the gods, and fact. Ice cream is made from cream, sugar, and eggs. Opinion, Donald Trump speaks his mind. Fact. Donald Trump's mind is a vertiginous horror of contradiction and lies. Perhaps that was opinion. Perhaps not. At any rate, give facts their due. Love them. Appreciate them. But most importantly, embrace the empirical difference between them and their messy cousin, opinion. And that is Jane's Etiquette Corner. Roll the outro.
Zing.
Bravo, Jane.
It's Jane's Etiquette Corner.
How was that?
Very
was
good.
lovely.
Very necessary.
I felt Emily's presence when I was writing that.
I think there's a problem too with people who are willing to believe almost anything that they read on the internet. If anything they hear on Fox News or MSNBC, if I heard it in one of those channels, whichever one I happen to be partial to, it must be true. And because so many times opinion is stated as facts. Like when I teach a writing course, I say, the weakest thing you can say is, I believe that such and such. You simply make a statement and make it fact. But it still is opinion. And I think that's a real problem today.
It is honestly frightening to me how people have decided to accept opinion as fact.
Absolutely.
It's a contagion, and this country is rife with it. It is just amazing.
And that feeling too, I think, as long as you and I believe it, it must be fact. Right? And there's that.
We can both believe that Jamie
Right,
is a snuffleupagus.
exactly.
It doesn't make Jamie a snuffleupagus. Much
What do
to
you
his
mean? He's
chagrin.
totally a snuffleupagus.
Just always thought
Look at him.
Much as he might like to be a snuffleupagus, he is not a snuffleupagus.
Dream Dasher.
Oh, well, it's what I do. I kill dreams.
With facts.
Squash. And opinion, right?
So, before we have to have a funeral for facts, although I'm told there is an obituary, or I have a hair in my mouth. I'm just trying. Excuse me.
Swallow it. Just swallow it.
No, it's attached. It's attached. If I swallow the hair in my mouth, the whole hair will. I'll just be like have this big hairy mouth, and I'll look like a Muppet.
I understand.
But anyway, so before we have to have a funeral for facts, please, love them. Love the facts. And now, we're going to take a short break. Afterwards, we'll talk to someone about ducks. All right, roll that break thing.
You're watching That's What She Said. Join Martha. We're always daring. Sheila. And a little bit twisted. Nicole. Good for all seasons. And me, Jane Street, with just the right amount of spice. Visit us at youtube.com/vids That's What She Said to view snippets and full episodes of our past shows. Everyone must Facebook, and we do too. Like our page at facebook.com/she posts to me. Stay in the know. And don't forget Twitter at she tweets to me. Don't want to be bothered by all those words, dots, and slashes? Just visit our page at twss.tv and use the social media links at the top to find us online. You can also visit our guest page, where you can see who's been on our show and follow links to the episodes on which they appeared. How convenient. Get the scoop on all the ladies of That's What She Said. Remember, some of us are single. Don't forget to bookmark twss.tv. And now, back to the show.
Oh, no, we're not. I fooled myself. I looked up at the monitor and I saw us and I thought we're back, but we weren't. It was just us from a clip. All right. Well, we love that Becca has been watching the show for so long. She can sing along with the intros and outros, which we love.
Hi, Becca.
I'll pass that along to Kirk because he writes them all and he has fun doing that. I have to correct myself because I was wrong. We don't have somebody to talk about ducks.
No ducks?
It
You
said.
can still try.
I thought it said quackers. It says Quakers. So please, welcome our guest, Jeanne Elberfeld, who will talk about Quakers, not quackers, and other things. So welcome to That's What You Said. Well, good. I'm glad you haven't fled in horror. Because some people do.
We are in rare form tonight.
It's a little hot in the studio. Anyway, we met you last week last month. It seems like, doesn't it seem like it's been just like really quick between these? What the heck? But we met you when Jamie had to jump in and host the Burke's
Emergency host.
Yes,
Right,
emergency
that's right.
stunt host.
That was fun.
The Intercultural Alliance program, where you were on talking about the Quakers. And we found this so interesting that we thought we'd bring you on and talk about that with our viewers and also find other fascinating things out about you.
Okay.
So, first, let's deal with the Quakers.
What would you like to know?
What are they?
It's a faith practice. It's a faith practice that started in the mid-1600s in England, kind of out of the Protestant Reformation. The man who started was George Fox, who didn't believe that Scripture was the be-all and end-all. He felt that personal revelation, was as important or more important. So what they believe is that there's that of God within every being, and that We worship in silence, and as we're in silence, messages come to us and we share them with each other. We do read Bible, we read the Torah, we read Quran, anything anybody wants to bring is accepted, because there's wisdom in all that divine literature.
That's
Wisdom-
very open. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
Wisdom,
the
but
coolest
not
thing.
concrete.
it's
Ism.
a dynamic process.
That sounds absolutely wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
What has it brought to your life?
Oh, so much. I started going to Quaker meeting about 9 years ago. Before that, I was Catholic. And I was searching for a way to really use my gifts and talents, and kept being put on hold. So when I came to Quakerism, what I found was a method of activism associated with the mysticism. So Quakers are very active in different social justice issues. I work heavily with domestic violence. I have been in the past a mental health counselor. I'm a community organizer now. And it's given me a way to put my faith into everyday life, which is wonderful.
That's pretty amazing.
That is
it
amazing.
Now, what's the downside?
There's no rules. Nobody tells you what's right and what's wrong.
There is a Quaker meeting in Reading, and actually, when I met you last time, I was really interested and thought I might like to go, and I couldn't. I forgot when you said that you met, and it's not on this thing, the church thing in the paper on Saturdays. So refresh us again as to your meeting house is on
6th Street.
6th Street.
I believe it's 108.
It's right next to the.
It's
Right.
between
Yeah,
the Trinity Lutheran and the Santander
Right.
Performing Arts
Well, I
Center.
still call it the Raja.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm-
I had to make sure I said
Yeah.
Santander correctly. You would have found us on a Sunday during the summer, but it's a very small group in the summer because most of us go out to Maiden Creek.
That's right.
There's
I
an
remember you said.
ancient, really old building out there, a stone
I've
building.
passed it.
A historic
That sounds
site.
beautiful.
Yes.
No heat, no electricity, nothing. We just
My
gathered
mother
there.
I had
It's fabulous.
relatives buried in that. Yeah.
That's where I want to be buried
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
But not anytime soon.
But anyway, we meet on Sundays at 10 a.m. and usually there's about 15 minutes of somebody prepares something. Again, it can be for anything. I've used Dr. Seuss before for opening exercises. I think I used the Places You'll Go, and I've used other things. I used Groundhog Day, the movie, as an analogy for searching, and you can use almost anything that you find pertinent and that you feel led to. But then about 10:15 we go into silence, and we stay in silence until about 11:15. And then we always have food. Everybody's welcome for the food.
But it's every Sunday.
Every
For
Sunday.
some reason, I thought, okay.
And
So-
go.
Sorry, so the time in silence, are you literally supposed to just sit there in quiet reflection, or can you write, can you draw, can you...
You can do anything. You really can use that for any time, anything that speaks to you, that opens you. It's more of an opening. It's a communal gathering. Do you know Carl Jung's collective consciousness, where everybody at one level is collected? When you have a gathered meeting, people are talking, they're bringing messages about the same thing, but from very different places. It's actually really beautiful. It's amazing the feeling you get. It's kind of a communal meditation, but it's deeper than that.
Okay. This is really cool.
Yeah, I would be really interested.
really
in
intrigued.
trying.
Indeed. That's,
Some people love it, some don't. I've taken most of my children. I have 4 kids, and my oldest daughter said I counted to 742. She didn't know what else to do. They knew what. My second daughter would go with me fairly regularly. So it speaks to different people differently. But you can read. If you read, it's almost like to me, it's almost like the Lectio Divina of Catholicism, where you would read a passage and then just hold that passage, rather than just reading a novel and filling an hour. So it's more of a contemplative. But the idea is to actually let your mind go blank and to receive whatever the Spirit brings up. There's no pastors, there's no hierarchy. Everybody is welcome and everyone is equal. One of the testaments of Quakerism is equality. So men can speak, women can speak, children can speak, visitors can speak. Visitors have as much a voice as anybody that's been there for 90 years. So it's a really amazing place to go because you hear very diverse opinions and it's respected.
And it's open to black, white,
Anybody.
homosexual,
Anybody.
trans. No?
Yeah, it's about equality.
That's
Yeah,
quite
that's
a
where
lovely
the,
concept.
It is. Well, it's a very simple concept. There's that of God in every being. So if there's that of God in you, or you, or you, or you,
Equal.
we're all equal. Whether I'm 90 and I've been there since the first day of my life, or whether I just walked in that day.
So there's no coming of age, like you don't give communion.
Confirmation.
And so you don't have to be 12 or 6 or whatever.
No, there's
various-
actually no sacraments.
Okay.
There's no holy days, which is a little strange for
Right.
someone who came from
Right.
Catholicism. Now, there's a lot of people there that are called convinced Quakers that have come from other religions or faith
Right.
practices. And so, like on Christmas Eve, we always gather. It's beautiful. It's candlelight, total silence, and you can sit there. The meeting house is usually open for about 2 hours, and you can come for 10 minutes, or you can stay the whole 2
nice.
hours. But it's actually a really interesting way to spend your Christmas Eve. When I was a Catholic, I was a cantor, and so I would sing 2 masses on Christmas Eve. And by the end, I was wiped out with all the rehearsals and then the performance and everything. This is such a different experience. It's a deep
That's
experience.
lovely.
And how often in life do we actually have an opportunity to just go and be quiet and still?
Never.
I mean, if we're at home, there's a TV, there's a magazine, there's something, but to actually have a place to go where that's the purpose is quite wonderful.
It is wonderful. You know, that left brain ego wants us to be talking or thinking or have that constant dialogue going all the time.
Yes.
It doesn't want to give the right brain that part of your brain that really connects you to all the universe. It doesn't want to give it its due. So when I go in there on a Sunday morning, and I meditate in the morning too, but when I go in there, I'm giving my right brain its opportunity to find some balance, and it's a wonderful thing.
I love that. It's also
What's
like
why?
the collective quiet.
Yes.
You know, you can sit by yourself in isolation and quiet, but that idea of being with that group of people and feeling that energy,
Right.
I really like that idea. That's a
Yeah.
really beautiful concept.
It's a really interesting group of people. We have a monthly meeting, which means we meet once a month for business. So it's run kind of like a business where we have a clerk and they run, and there's committees and things run that way. And that's overshadowed by, or an umbrella over that is the quarterly meeting where they meet 4 times a year. And then there's a yearly meeting, which is Philadelphia yearly meeting. But if you go to a Philadelphia yearly meeting gathering, you will meet some of the most interesting, diverse people you've ever met, you know. In Reading, we have a really interesting group of people, but when you expand it to, it's really southeastern Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, you get amazing talent.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It is. It's
Now,
wild.
if somebody wanted to follow up and get more information, how does one do that?
Well, we have a website, so Reading Monthly Meeting. They can check it out there.
And what is that? And what is that website?
I think it's Reading Monthly Meeting. Now, if I had done my homework, I would have written it down and handed it to you.
Here,
I think we had this problem last time where I forgot to do it again. Google us.
Someone's daughter would like to know, but what are our thoughts on ducks?
We like
Thank
our
you,
ducks
Julia.
in a row. And I've never been a quack. I was a doctor, but I was never a quack.
ReadingFriendsMeeting.org.
Oh, thank you so much.
ReadingFriendsMeeting.org.
But if you Google Reading Monthly Meeting,
Thank you, James.
Okay.
First saved
There
me.
you go. Okay.
He's a producer. He produces.
That's right.
There it is.
That's what he does. So,
Wait.
Go-
Not done, guys.
Is it monthly or weekly?
It's weekly for worship. It's monthly, for business.
meeting. Oh, for business.
And we
Okay.
call business meetings actually
Okay.
meeting for worship with attention to business. So when we go into a business meeting, we actually go into silence first, and we go to a level that's below contesting things. And so when we're talking about a certain subject, whatever the topic that we're discussing, everyone can offer their opinions. We never vote. It's always on consensus. And if we don't reach consensus, it gets put off till the next month. And if it still doesn't reach consensus, it gets put off. And Quakers call that seasoning, because you give it time to really sink in, to allow things to percolate through your brain. Wow. It's a sometimes very frustrating process, but when you finally come to decision or come to consensus, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty wonderful.
That's really wonderful.
Now, that you had mentioned out when we were out in the lobby earlier, that you're also a community activist and do a lot of work for various organizations. Did that precede your involvement with the Quakers, or was it a...
No, it actually has been an offshoot. Prior to becoming a Quaker, I was a stay-home mom. I was doing some teaching at Penn State, but I really didn't get into the activism. A lot of organized religion, your activism is putting extra money into the collection plate on Sunday, where Quakers don't do a collection plate, number one, but they believe in going out and just doing the work. So we've worked with Habitat for Humanity, we've worked with Family Promise, we work with Opportunity House. There is, I don't know if you know, the detention center with the immigrants.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of Quakers that are working on that. I personally work with domestic violence, mental health counseling, some children and youth work. So everybody has their area that they're really interested in. Mine is interpersonal violence. I really would like to work against interpersonal violence on all levels. But each person has their own call, and it's amazing. Some of it's environmental.
That's wonderful.
Some of it's different social justice issues. It's wonderful. And the nice thing is the balance that you find is between activism and mysticism. You know, Catholicism had a lot of mysticism in it, but there wasn't the activism that my brain and my body really wanted. So I found a home.
That's pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
I am more interested now than I was a month ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, come and visit us, and you would always be welcome.
I would like to.
So how many? Well, you said it gets small in the summer. About how many people? What's the average meeting like?
On a good day, on a busy day, probably 50 to 60 people in the meeting house.
Okay.
It's not huge. There is what's called first day school. First day school is the kids go off. They stay in silence for about 10 minutes, and they go off, and there's two classrooms, a younger group and an older group, and they go off and they do other things, because sitting in silence for kids would not be a very good thing.
That was my next question. What if I showed up with a noisy
so.
2-year-old who can't keep quiet for 2 seconds?
Right.
Rather than,
Well, give him food. Keep feeding him.
sorry, meditate on this goldfish cracker.
I have to say that's happened. And there is first day school. There is first day school, and there's some people that are wonderful that work with the kids, and there's never a curriculum or like a CCD kind of thing thrown at them. Each person that teaches brings their gifts again. When I was teaching some Native American Anasazi kind of wisdom with them. Another man was going through all the different religions, faith practices. Cool. Another man works all through social justice. He just brings newspapers in, and he works with the older groups, but they work through the newspapers. And how are we seeing, Quaker testimonies lived up to, and how are we not, and what can we do about it?
Why is Quakerism not Quakerism? I guess. Why is Quakerism not more prevalent? It seems to answer a lot of what many of us are looking for in religion, in faith, and we find these religions, and we get stuck in, but I don't like that. I don't like that. This is.
There's a lot of rules in most religions.
There's a lot of rules, and a lot of them are very antithetical to being a human being.
What do you think?
But go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark.
And this will sound snarky probably, but the Quakers force people to think. And excuse me, but many religions
Don't want you to.
don't allow you much time to have to think. And so it's very comfortable, I think, for many people to have other people do that for them. Okay, it's just like the facts checking, perhaps. But I think, it's very comfortable to go into a very organized religion where every time I go to Sunday, I'm doing the same things, I'm saying the same things, and it's comfortable. It's kind of, and I don't have to really think. And I think that would
Except
be
that
very
you-
challenging for people to then become Quakers. And I don't mean that to criticize anyone, but I certainly
No,
like what you're
I think
saying.
it just kind of makes you think outside the box. And
Yes,
some people that
yes.
are really ingrained in their religion
Exactly.
they don't know how to think outside the
Right.
box because they're not taught to.
Right,
They're taught
exactly.
to listen and
Exactly.
obey, but not to
Exactly.
expand your
Sheila.
mind.
Yes.
Well, I feel like to be a Quaker is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like coming from a Catholic faith, it was spread the Catholic faith, spread the Catholic faith. Get more Catholics, and it feels like the Quakers
Recruitment.
are like, we're Quakers, and if you want to join us, you're welcome to join.
Or not.
Or not. But we are who we are, and it feels like it's this open invitation, not a let's go, not a pulling
There's no
in.
finger in your back.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's it's
Come check us out.
in a lot of
very
ways, that's
open.
always been my problem with any with any religion I've dabbled in. I get involved and it suddenly becomes this grasping, get bigger, get more money,
Right.
and it's like, I don't want to think about all this. I mean, indeed, places have to survive. How do the Quakers support the meeting houses and their activities?
If you're able, or whatever you're able, on a yearly basis, you make a donation. So there's never a collection plate. They say, this is your fair share.
Excuse me.
If you can do it, you do it. If you can't, then you don't. And if you can do more, you do more. It's very personal, but nobody ever tells you what your tithe should be.
don't get the little envelopes in the mail.
No, we don't. I think what Martha said is very true, except that we don't force anybody to think. You're given the opportunity. You're given the
I think that's really
space.
what I meant. You're given
No, I
an
know.
opportunity to think where.
Right. I just didn't want that to stay there, that anything is forced. It's very much just an opening.
Right.
The other way I look at it, and what you're saying is very true from my experience of Quakerism, and everybody's is somewhat differently, but I remember when I first started going, I came to a realization that, we were raised with the 10 Commandments, and the 10 Commandments are thou shalt not. Well, I read a translation of that, and it was more of a walk forward in this way. And it was translated more of a commitment that you make as you gain maturity in your faith, that then you are able to not covet, not steal, not, whatever, envy, whatever your 7 deadly sins are, your favorite of the 7 deadly sins are. But it's more, it comes from a maturity within and a desire from within rather than being imposed upon you.
It seems that faith should be a journey of learning how to be a better ward of yourself and of others and of the world.
Yeah.
And so often that's not what it's about.
Well, they put the guise of that on it to achieve other things.
I think also, it seems to me, and again, this is, that Quakers would probably stick to their Quaker beliefs or their Quaker faith for a lifetime. But in many cases, you're raised in one church with this very strict set of beliefs, and you get the idea that if you don't quite agree with that, then something terrible will happen. And as you get older, you get to realize that is just such baloney. And so we have an awful lot of fallen away whatevers. And I suspect that there are probably fewer fallen away Quakers.
Well, even
Because
if you
it seems to
fall away, like you don't have your obligation, like, there's no Sunday obligation.
Right.
You can still go into
Right.
silence. When I'm on vacation, I go into silence,
Right.
on the deck of the house rather than,
You're not searching for a Quaker.
Right. I don't have to get there.
Right.
But The interesting thing is that if you look at a lot of the people that do come to Quakerism, they still hold on to a lot of their ties.
Sure.
There are a lot of people that will go to Quaker meeting, but then will also, go to a Catholic Mass or go to their Presbyterian. There's a lot of Buddhist Quakers.
What?
Because you don't actually have to be
that makes sense,
Christian
though. Yeah.
to be
sort of multi-faith and still
and
participate.
still
Right.
participate. There are actually,
kinda
and I'm
nice.
not sure how this works because in my mind it doesn't, but there are actually atheistic Quakers. People that claim to be atheists but still find peace and a
could
place
understand that.
in
Right.
Quakerism.
Interesting. So maybe they don't believe in
An actual
one
entity or
actual
anything.
entity, but believe in a natural spiritualism among us.
Yeah, or
I think that's
natural
cool.
order.
I see it as like, you put a painting up on the wall and, everyone in the room can interpret it a different way.
Yeah.
And you're still getting out of it what you need from it.
It is the Rorschach test of faith.
There you go. I like that.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, on that note, we have to move on. But
no.
but I
But we'll be in touch.
I know. This is like probably the longest we've. But unfortunately, we do have some other things to get to. If you would like to stick around, yes, if you want to stick around
Hang out
on the
with us.
panel
I
and
will drink.
finish your drink, we do have to get to and roll that tape.
Surprise! All right. So, unfortunately, Summertime Nikki is going to be having to hang her hat up so that Teacher Time Nikki can put her hat back on. So, I'm getting back into teacher mode, and I want to see how all my friends and my new friend are with their knowledge. So, we're going to play a little Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Oh my gosh,
Now I'm frightened.
I am also.
All right, so there's a little bit
Okay,
of math, a little bit of geography.
Oh,
We
dear.
got a little spattering of all of it. All right, so there are 11 questions.
Okay.
Question number 1. How many cups are in 28 fluid ounces? Sheila's just giving me a dirty look. Go ahead.
7.
No.
8.
No.
28.
I don't even know how to count.
How many cups are in 28 fluid ounces? So there are 8 fluid ounces in a
3.5.
cup. 3.5. You got it. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Martha's got it. All right. White puffy clouds that are known as fair weather clouds. What is their technical name? Cumulus. Between 1455 and 1485, the War of the Roses took place in
Yes.
England.
Martha, genius.
Martha's
Look
got
at
it.
Martha is kicking.
All right.
Booties out of us.
If you are facing north, I feel like that stand in the place. All right. If you are facing north and you turn 90 degrees to the right, what is your new direction?
East.
East. All right. Budapest is the capital of what country?
Budapestia. Sorry, I knew it was wrong. I just had to say it.
Hungary. All right. You weirdos. Now a national park. What site was the headquarters for George Washington during the winter of 1777 to 1778? Valley Forge.
I thought it
We
was
should
Florida.
all know.
I know this. I came from New York.
Well, girl,
I'm
you
just
learn it.
saying.
All right.
That was a long time ago.
In 1821, Stephen and Moses Austin, Moses got the better name, Stephen and Moses Austin received 18,000 acres that became what current state?
Texas.
Texas.
Genius, Martha. Holy cow, she's played this game before.
All right.
No, it looks like she's watching. I'm gonna
She
take
plays
some
a lot of
precautions
trivia.
here.
Mexico is bordered on the south
not
by
looking at the
Belize and what other Central American country? Ooh. Did I stump you?
Colombia?
No.
I was thinking
Panama?
Colombia too.
No. Starts with a G.
I have no idea.
Gee.
Gee.
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Oh, yes.
There we go. All right.
Gee.
All right. Now this
Cheetah.
this is a science question. So
Guadeloupe.
this is my shtick right here.
Uh-oh.
All right. What is the term for an organism that makes food from inorganic materials?
A parasite. I don't know.
Inorganic. It makes its own food.
It is a.
Makes its own.
I know this term.
It is
I
a
don't remember
lucky.
it.
Autotroph.
Ah.
Troph means to eat. Auto means self. So literally means it eats of itself.
Ew.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Okay.
My goodness.
Which of these words can be used as an adjective? Smooth, rapidly, smile.
What was the first one?
Smooth, rapidly,
Smooth.
smooth is an adjective. Good.
Yes.
Okay, and finally, if you wanted to visit the 3 tallest mountains in the world, what continent would you be visiting?
Asia.
Asia.
Very good.
There we go.
And roll that outro. Movie. Next intro.
I was like, oh my God.
It's Sheila's not necessarily current movie picks.
I made Nicole spill her drink. You know, everybody knows I'm on a horror movie kick like the last few months and I'm not done. I like horror movies and I'm gearing up for October. It's right around the corner. I know it's a couple months late, but I'm a fall kind of girl and I like horror movies. So I saw a really good movie a couple weeks ago called Lights Out. Oh my gosh, it is terrifying. It's about a demon who just appears when the lights are out. I mean, you see her go away when the lights flicker.
stop. Okay,
Yeah, it's terrifying. Her name is Diana, and she wreaks complete havoc on this poor family, and it has a surprise ending for sure. I highly recommend this.
Is it still playing?
Yes. I actually just saw it like 2 days ago again because I couldn't get it. I wanted to see. I often see movies twice because I missed a lot the first time. So yeah, Lights Out.
like this the first time.
Yeah, you're going to watch it like this because I recommend you bring someone to grab.
Excellent. Huh?
It's a current movie.
It
Yeah.
is.
That's the first one I've done in a while, but yeah, I just saw it and I loved it.
All right.
Left me shaking.
Roll that outro.
Woo!
Left her shaking.
Left me shaking.
It's Sheila's not necessarily current movie picks.
Oh my goodness gracious, this hour has flown by and we're just rushing to try to get all of this in and we can't do it. But I just want to make sure before we close, does anybody have anything they want to promote, anything coming up, events?
I don't think so. Do
Okay.
we? No. Wow, we're empty this week.
On September
I had
10th,
something, yes.
there's behind in the VF parking outlet. There's a like a trucks day. They're gonna be like bringing trucks of all sizes. My child is gonna lose his mind.
Oh,
So
excellent.
come play with me and David on big trucks
There is something.
on September 10th.
Yes, September 18th in the Heights again.
Oh, it's
from
in-
Genesius Theater.
Really?
It's going to be on 6th and Penn in the courtyard behind the Santander building.
Cool.
Free performance outside. It's going to be as amazing as it was inside.
And
Coolness.
BCTV has the Luau Dance Party on Wednesday, August 31st from 7 to 9. It doesn't say where, but you can check out bctv.org and it'll have all the information. I heard Amber's voice on the... Never mind. it's somewhere and you can check it out online. And also our friend Kirk is doing a Phantom, Geston and
can't wait to
Coppett's
see
Phantom up at Dutch Apple. I saw it the other night. It was spectral. It's beautiful. The voices are truly amazing in this piece. So if you have a chance to do that, what are we down to? 1 minute?
Yeah, like 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. Oh, what?
We can do a lot in 2 minutes.
We can. Tell us about working out in that extreme heat.
Oh my goodness, I was burnt to
But
a
quickly.
literal crisp. I had like blisters, I had bubbles on my arms.
Oh
and-
my goodness, darling.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time under ice packs in the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
Just
child.
trying to get back to normal. And I'm back to normal, sort of, but I'm still a little bit
Oh my goodness.
rough and a little sandy.
Well, I am so glad you're.
Yeah, I'm a little sandy. My hands are killing me.
Oh.
My allergies, but I'm good. I'm bouncing back until I got to go back outside tomorrow.
And finally, self-driving car. Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Really? Control freak. I want to be in charge.
But here's the thing. I think a self-driving car would be a wonderful thing, except everyone has to have one.
Exactly.
Because if some
just
have
won't work.
self-driving and
Exactly.
some have not self-driving, It's a recipe for chaos.
But
It's
Uber's going to try them out in Pittsburgh.
all right. Here we go.
Pittsburgh.
Because
Uber's doing it in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank BCTV.org and BCTV for being our wonderful home here. We want to thank Amber, Kelly, and Paul for running our show tonight. Always, and thanks for Jeanne Elberfeld for talking with us. It was a fascinating time here. And remember, you can visit us at twss.tv or find us on Facebook at She Posts to Me. We thank you, we love you, and remember, the next show is Monday, September 26th at 9 o'clock. Thank you for being here. We love you. Have a safe month. Bye. Bye.